Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. It was crazy. I've been back in Texas, and I started going to my nieces and nephews' volleyball, football games, stuff like that. Good family fun, good family time, right? And I come home, I'm sitting outside watching a thunderstorm. If you've never been in Texas and seen a thunderstorm in Texas, it's like nothing you've ever seen. The lightning streaks across the sky and lights everything up. And the weather's still nice. It's like 84, 85 degrees. So it's like, you know what? Now I have a thirst to watch a sports show. I haven't watched one in so long. I was like, you know what? Let me go in here and sit down and put on a sports show. And so the sports show I put on is called Around the Horn. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, if you've ever watched it. I just happened to tune in as they're talking about NBA players not wanting to get the COVID vaccine. Apparently there is, and it was really funny because you have the one host and he awards points if he likes what you say. And then you have 4 guests and they each take turns talking, but they all said the same thing. They basically said the NBA should force players to get the vaccine because if not, they won't be able to play in certain cities. Well, this really disturbed me because now you're forcing a 22 to 30-year-old very healthy athlete to put something in their body and you don't know the long-term effects and you don't care. Let's just be honest. Just be honest. So this vaccine thing has come up a lot. And it's really got me thinking. I even had one of my friends who I consider conservative, right? Post on Facebook tonight. He goes, "What's with the vaccine hesitancy? I don't understand." I did not reply because there's not enough room on Facebook for me to explain it to him. It's not so much, I don't think, the vaccine actually has very serious concerns, right? Say, everybody remembers the Texas abortion law. And what was the liberals' number one argument against it? 6 weeks is not enough time for a woman to know she's pregnant. It takes more like, some said 10 to 12, some said 12 to 15. So let's say it's October. You go get the vaccine. Now, in the middle of November, you find out you're pregnant. And we all know this vaccine is very dangerous for pregnant women. Not only that, let's think about it from a man's point of view. Those of you familiar with fornication or sex, right, know that what's in a man's body travels to a woman's body. So now you've impregnated your wife, you had the vaccine, and now your baby's born with disabilities. And you know who's going to pay for that? Nobody. I can see why these players are hesitant. I can see why. San Francisco and New York, they don't even know if they're going to have their star players for half the year because they can't play home games because they're not vaccinated. People have different aspects of their lives, and I think people need to start looking at it and appreciating that. If you don't want the vaccine, don't get it. And you shouldn't be forced to get it. See, that's the whole big thing. They're forcing people to get it. They're forcing it. I saw this one guest, I forget her name. Actually, I didn't care to memorize her name, so I guess forgetting isn't really a big deal. But her thing was, the NBA has to put its foot down and mandate that these players get vaccinated. Whoa there, buddy. Whoa. Kind of crossing a line. But see, they don't get that. I told you guys about the vaccine mandate protests going on all across the world. Which is why I'm telling you, and it all goes back to the Second Amendment. If they can't strip your Second Amendment rights, they can't do to you whatever they want to do. Oh, Texas has already said, yeah, no, screw you vaccine mandates. Florida said it. Like, no, we're not doing that. But why is it that the left pushes so hard to get you to do what they want you to do? To the point of there are thousands of police officers that are planning on resigning in New York. They're going to bring in the National Guard to take their place. There's thousands of nurses planning to resign in New York. They're going to bring New York and Michigan. They're going to bring in National Guard and foreign workers who you don't know if they're vaccinated. I'm telling you, liberals really hate this country, and it becomes so and so apparent. I can't even enjoy my favorite shows. Hey, Around the Horn, talk about sports stuff. Talk about what you know about. None of them are doctors. They have no idea the long-term effects of this vaccine. And let's just be honest, doctors don't either. You know why? Because it hasn't been out for a very long time. And then, like with my buddy's post, he's like, well, why would people be hesitant? I'm like, because the U.S. government passed a law saying you cannot sue them if something goes wrong. So if 5, 10, 15 years down the road, this vaccine creates a ton load of medical bills for you, which we all know how the medical field is on sending you bills. An ambulance ride 2 miles costs $10,000. Then what is their recourse? Also note, LeBron James came out and said he's not going to endorse the vaccine. He did say he took the vaccine, but he said he's not going to endorse it for other people and their families. Now, this goes back to a video I did earlier when I was still in Washington, right? Where I said, I wonder if LeBron watched my video. I really wonder if he watches my videos. Some of the stuff he says. Anyway. Even though I'm pretty sure he doesn't. If not, I'd have a lot more views. But if something goes wrong, you can't sue the pharmaceutical company, you can't sue the government. They passed those laws, right? But you know who Dan could sue? With all his probably well over $1 billion in net worth now. I bet well over $1 billion. Probably closer to 2 or 3. Well, LeBron James told me to get it. He's not a medical professional. And then the highest refusals of getting the vaccine are coming from experienced nurses and doctors. See, they'll tell you it's black people. Black people have a reason not to trust the government in giving them vaccines and drugs that they know nothing about, right? So LeBron actually made a very smart move. He's like, I'm not endorsing this. Ain't nobody suing me. I wonder if his lawyers told him to do that. This is a very smart move. Also another part of this thing is like, well, what's the difference between, in my friend's Facebook post, right? Between getting the measles, mumps, rubella shot, and this and that, because they've been around since before I was freaking born. So you know the long-term effects. This just came out. And the killer part, liberals are the ones pushing this, right? Actually, I see liberals now in the streets chanting, fuck Biden, fuck the vaccine, fuck Cuomo. So it might actually be turning on them. But this vaccine just came out last year, and if liberals are right, we can't trust Trump. So why would I put something in my body that the liberals say are from a man I can't trust? Just doesn't make any sense. And it's like I can't even do sports TV anymore. I can't even do sports talk TV. I'm done with it. It's the reason I stopped watching Skip and Shannon. And the old lady will tell you, first thing I used to do when I got up in the morning, and even she started liking it, I watched it so much, was turn on Skip and Shannon. This was years ago. And now I won't even do that. It's really ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But whether you're vaccinated or not, whether you want to be vaccinated or not, that's your business. It's not any sports commentator's business. It's not the liberal down the street's business. Unless you work in the medical field, it's not even your employer's business. I tell you, damn sure isn't Joe Biden and Laughing Harris's business. God, she laughed at the most inappropriate time today. But I'll tell you about that in another video. I'll probably put that one up when the old lady wakes up tomorrow. All right, well, like, subscribe, share, and as always, do what you got to do.